This is a workout. Come on.
During this glider flight, I discovered the swirling winter sky above the mountains is equally beautiful and intimidating. The wave of rising air that had formed over the high country near Canberra was elusive, but eventually the hunt paid off. I also discovered some new mistakes to make. I may need to sell a kidney after I got towed to 10,000 feet above sea level. As any tow plane flies higher and higher into thinner air, it increasingly struggles to drag along a glider, therefore the price gets higher and higher. Forecasting program SkySight showed a tempting line of wavelift stretching from Mount Kosciuszko all the way to Canberra, so I stayed on tow through 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 feet. I held on to hope, believing I'd reach that wave.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
But I should have followed the advice of Alan the tug pilot to release, point my nose down and punch towards the wave with more speed. Instead, after release from the tow plane, I felt wave lift momentarily, so I dithered around with indecision and got blown backwards by a 40-knot headwind. As I sunk down, the clouds began closing up underneath me. In gliders, you're relying on visual flight rules, not instruments. You do not want to end up disorientated, diving through cloud, pulling huge G-forces, like this glider in New Zealand a couple of years ago. You risk damaging or breaking the glider's wings. So I made the disappointing but wise decision to open the air brakes and duck through a hole in the cloud. Soon, I was back in the landing circuit.
London traffic, glider Delta Golf Alpha joining right hand downwind, runway 27, London.
So I took a second launch, this time to a sensible 5,500 feet. But this meant that after release I had to climb in the rough air that tumbles underneath the skywave.
This is thermaling in the rotor. Oh, God.
I fought on, jumping from cloud to cloud.
Here's a good little cloud.
Soon though, I felt that soft, sweet kiss of constant, smooth, rising air.
Boarded the plane, touched down in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain.
I'd finally found the promised wave. You find yourself talking to the sky, begging and praying that wave lift will hold on to your little glider.
And I sang with all my might. She said, tell me, are you a Christian child? And I said, ma'am, I am tonight.
As I pushed west, the wave lift got better. But as I climbed, I got closer to a towering wall of solid cloud, which meant I couldn't go any further. So before long, I had to fall out of the wave and back into the rough air.
Just rolling it back and forth, trying to maintain my position in this kind of 35-knot headwind as this big misty muck of cloud heads towards me.
Whispers of snow streamed past the canopy, followed by a rainbow.
Look at that.
And then there was company in the sky.
Killing 624 Delta and IR-8, we're about 3 minutes from takeoff on runway 36, departing on an outbound course of 358 to Sydney.
A Dash 8 departing nearby Cooma Snowy Mountains Airport. As it's uncontrolled airspace, there's no air traffic controller telling us where to go, so we need to make sure passenger aircraft know where the gliders are so the pilots can stay well clear of us. After a bit more bouncing around in the sky, I joined circuit. Facing a strong headwind, I really had to increase my landing speed. I turned final, and looking up at me, apparently fearing some aviation disaster was unfolding, was police doing their highway patrolling. The very friendly officers headed into the airfield, but they were relieved to find out all was well, and then they were fascinated by the gliders. It made me think, why risk a crash or a fine by speeding in your car when you can safely and legally travel in a glider at over 250 kilometres per hour? Subscribe for more gliding adventures.